Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I know I've been gone for just a little while and I don't really have an explanation for it. I just needed some time off to focus on some other things, but I'm back now and ready to get into YouTube for this year. So this year brings many exciting things for me, and one of the most exciting things is moving into my own house that I bought with my partner. This is a really big achievement and we're so excited. We actually bought the house last year but have been renting it out while we finalize our current rental and, you know, earn a little bit of money back. So we will be moving in just a few months, and we've started packing, started reorganizing some things, getting rid of things, buying some new furniture. And one of the main pieces of furniture that I really wanted to upgrade was our bed frame. So when we first moved in together and my partner moved out for the first time, we bought this bed frame, very basic, very cheap from IKEA, and it served its purpose. It fit for the time and it didn't look horrible. But the house we're moving into and the style that we're really liking, I suppose, is very coastal, neutral, beachy, if you can't tell by our blue couch. Very into neutral, calming colors. Black does not fit that, and it doesn't really fit the vibe of the house. We've been tossing up, do we buy a new bed frame? Do we make one? Do we somehow DIY? And we ended up with a DIY solution.
Matching.
So I've been seeing these types of bed frames all over the internet for months and months and months, and I think they're amazing. I think they're so cool, they're so unique, modern with still having some more vintage elements, and I just really enjoy them. I really wanted one and I thought it would look so good in the house, especially with the beach themes, but the ones you can find, they're about $700 to $1,000, and that's just way out of our price range, not something I'm willing to spend on a bed frame, and I just didn't like the idea of disposing of a bed frame that's still perfectly usable. So this DIY took a while, but it ended up being really simple when you broke it down, and it cost next to nothing other than buying equipment, which my partner wanted to buy anyway. This DIY cost under $100. Like, that's nothing for a new bed frame. So what you need for this DIY is you'll need a bed frame. So to start this makeover, we had to sand back the black paint on the bed. So what we found is that it was the wooden base, I suppose, covered with primer, then white paint, and then black paint on top of that. So it was a lot thicker and a lot more work than we had thought. We also thought that sanding it would get it done really quickly. It was quick. I think overall it maybe took 4 hours, but we split this up over 2 days. And then for the hard to reach areas, we went in either manually with some sandpaper, or for 2 areas we ended up putting terps over it and scraping it off and then sanding it off. So at least we weren't fighting a never-ending battle. So that process took a while and it was very loud, very messy. So fair warning if you're going to be doing it from a bed frame. Just have lots of patience, have some headphones in, get some music going. That'll make it a lot more fun. So after the first coat of sanding was done, we just had to go in with a fine sander to make sure we got everything was really smooth and ready for the stain. So the stain we chose is called Walnut from this brand. It worked really well. It's a water-based one, so we could get it off our hands, our clothing, and any surrounding surfaces really easily. It's very similar to a lot of the furniture colors we already have in the house, maybe just a little bit warmer because we wanted it to stand out against the leather that we chose. So this stain can cost about $60 and we only ended up using about half of it, so we've still got quite a lot left to go. And this is one of my favorite clips here. I'm just gonna pop it here, or the start, end, and middle. It's kind of opposite, but it really shows the difference in the colors, and I think the natural grains in the wood looked beautiful after we've sanded it, so adding the stain on top was amazing. Once the stain was back on, we decided to head out and look for some leather. Obviously it's fake leather, we couldn't afford to buy real leather, and I'm not really fussed on it. It's just an aesthetic piece. I don't really need it to be super functional and sturdy, so we just went to our local Spotlight, which is Australia's craft store. Originally we were gonna do a lighter wash stain with a tan leather, but the few times we'd gone to Spotlight before starting this project, we couldn't find the right tan. They were either very camely or really like a pooey brown. It wasn't like the true tan. Like this was the ideal image, so I couldn't find this color tan faux leather in any store. So what we ended up doing was we did a darker stain that actually matches quite well, and we did a lighter leather. So the leather that we ended up getting was this beautiful cream color, very natural and bright, and it really brightens up the room. I really like it. So we got about 2.5 meters, and we were a little bit worried that it wouldn't be enough, but it ended up being more than enough. We have enough. So all of that leather We got really lucky and we went on a sales weekend, and my partner's mum actually makes all of her own clothing. So she has a really good, she's a member of Spotlight. So we ended up getting all of that leather for $16, which is insane. And we got so lucky. After we've got the leather and the stain is all done and dried, it was time to get back into making the bed. So of course the first thing we had to do was assemble the bed, and we wanted to make sure the area underneath it was clean. We are moving out of this house in 2 months, but I'm trying really hard to be as clean as possible. So make sure that was fully vacuumed and all of the cat's hair was out from underneath. So then we had to assemble the bed. Overall, it's very sturdy and ended up working really well. Didn't take too long. And then came the fun of the leather. So trying to work out how much we would need and how many straps, how far apart they'd be spaced, was quite interesting. Took a little bit of math, which isn't my favorite subject, but it ended up looking incredible. So we ended up cutting the down strips first because they were more predictable, and we ended up doing 14 straps. All of our straps were 70 millimeters wide with about a 30 millimeter gap in between. So it was 100 millimeters per section, we called it. So what we did is we stapled the down straps from the top, and then we cut the long waist straps, stapled them to one side, woven them through, pulled them to the other side, stapled the bottom of the downward straps, and then stapled the end of the across strap. It was a pretty simple process for a bed head, and this is the final product. I think it was so amazing to make. It was so nice to be able to make this with my partner, and now we have something that we can say that we've made. Like, we did this, we made all the adjustments, and it's not perfect by any means. There are a lot of areas that we didn't bother sanding because they wouldn't be seen. Like, we could see them but no one else could, so we weren't really bothered by it. But I think it just looks amazing, and it was such a good way to be cost effective with our money and making sure that we got something that fit our aesthetic and will fit our new house, but that didn't break the bank, because there are other things we want to do to the house. If you guys make a similar bed, or you've done a DIY project that you love, please let me know below, because I'm all into the DIY projects at the moment and I would love to do some more. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe down below, and I hope you guys have an amazing whole full week. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.